Well, hello everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We are on to the intermediate music theory video number 6. We're looking at the Mixolydian mode. We just left off with Lydian. Now we got Mixolydian. Mixolydian starts from the 5th scale degree, which is kind of cool because now we're starting on the dominant chord. The dominant chord is very strong in any major key because that chord is trying to tell you, go home, go to 1. Well, in this case, it is 1. So now we got to see, does this, changing into this mode, does that get us back to 1 nicely? Or does it feel a little incomplete? We'll check that out here in a minute, but let's get the old handy dandy chart up here. Hopefully my handwriting's getting better. Take a look at that. Like I said, the 1 chord is now the dominant chord. The 4 chord is what was the 1 chord. 5 chord was 2, 6 chord was 3, and then now, it's fun, the 4 chord is the 7, which is interesting. The other cool thing to notice with this, and I'll show you now with the guitar, you can see the spacing a little better, is that where we're going with our roots is not any different than if we were playing in just regular old major. The roots are exactly where they would have been then. The chord qualities have merely changed. Just because that's, 1 is now that dominant chord. 6 in Mixolydian is in the same spot, and it's the same quality as what 6 would have been as if we were in B major. Now, the 4 chord, same quality, same everything as it would have been in B major. But the 5 chord, instead of being this nice dominant chord, is now a minor 7 chord. Minor chord with a minor 7. That is the only difference between Mixolydian and major, is you have a different 7th quality on your 1 chord. Instead of a major 7, you now have a minor 7 dominant. And your 5 chord is going to be a minor chord with a minor 7th now. Whereas in the major key, it would have been your dominant chord, or just. So let's do a little bit of a chord progression. Just get a feel for it. See what we think of it. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't. I kind of dig it. It's fun. Not like good time fun. Just interesting fun. See how when you resolve to one of Mixolydian, it sounds like you still have places to go because we're used to that chord telling us to go there. We're not going there, are we? Not in Mixolydian, we're not. Now, for a fun little exercise, what we're going to do is, we covered Lydian in the last video. We're on to Mixolydian. These videos are pretty shorter. I'm keeping them shorter. Just for fun, I do want to show you kind of what happens when you switch between, say, Mixolydian and Lydian. Now, what are the differences? The 1 chord in Lydian is a major chord with a major 7th. In Mixolydian, it's a dominant. The 6 chord in both of them is still that chord, minor, minor. Now the 4 chord in Mixolydian is this nice chord. The 4 chord in Lydian, though, is our diminished chord. Okay? Now, the 5 chord in Lydian is a major, major chord, but the 5 chord in Mixolydian is a minor, minor. So what we're going to do, we'll start in Mixolydian, And when we get to our 5, halfway through the measure, we'll switch to a secondary dominant. And we'll come back to 1, but now we'll be in Lydian. Okay? I'll walk you through it. So 1 in Mixolydian. Okay? 6. 4. 5. Switch it to a dominant. 1 in Lydian. Switch it to a dominant. Go back. Missed it. We left off in Lydian, but then you could cadence back to Mixolydian. Now again, usually my guitar playing on these videos is nothing to like call your friends about, because that's not really what this is about. This is about you hearing these things, hearing the differences, seeing the minute differences, and deciding for yourself, is that something I would use? Does it matter to me? It might not. You may never, ever, ever play anything in Mixolydian, but at least now you know what it sounds like. That's the whole idea with music theory. The thing that I think is cool about music theory is once you study these things, at least you've heard it. At least you know, do I like that? Don't I like that? Also, you may stumble across sounds that you're like, man, I heard that before and I could never, I fooled around with the guitar all day and I could never find it again. And there it is. That's the cool thing, is then some sounds you hear it and you're like, oh, that's how that sound's made. And then you know it forever. So that's the cool thing about theory. I know everybody gets so caught up on what boxes you in. It really doesn't, man, because you can choose to write music with theory in mind, or you can choose to just write based on how you feel with the knowledge of theory still. You don't have to turn it on and leave it on all the time. Sometimes you can just play because you feel like playing. So anyhow, there was my rant for the day. Mixolydian with a little bit of Mixolydian and Lydian back and forth. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you continue to watch these videos. I hope you continue to learn from me. I hope you enjoy learning this stuff, because it's real fun to like fool around with and challenge yourself with this stuff. It's kind of like a game, but I hope you have a wonderful day. Please like, subscribe, and share. You're doing awesome.